In the holiest shrine of the ancient Egyptian capital, Solon was shown records of unsurpassed antiquity, the secrets of a long-lost age when a civilization of incomparable power and prestige had dominated the world 9,000 years before. The Empire of Atlantis. The description the Egyptian priests gave to Solon of this mighty, vanished civilization is the starting point for every search ever undertaken to find Atlantis. A description which Plato says
has the great advantage of being a fact and not a fiction.
Atlantis was said to lie beyond the Pillars of Hercules, outside the Mediterranean Sea, in an ocean we now call the Atlantic. Connected to the ocean by an immense canal 100 feet deep and several miles long, at the very center of the city was the dazzling citadel of Atlantis, which housed the most spectacular treasures that ever graced the earth.
They had such an amount of wealth as was never before possessed by kings, and is not likely ever to be again.
Plato tells us that for long ages the Atlanteans lived at peace with the rest of the world on their beautiful island paradise. Unspoiled by their material possessions and great wealth, they were concerned only with learning, cultivating virtue, and living in harmony with nature. Yet finally this golden age passed, and the Atlanteans became like other mortals.
Human nature got the upper hand. They became tainted with unrighteous ambition and power.
Insatiable for wealth and glory, the Atlanteans pushed forward the bounds of their empire, enslaving all before them. Finally, only one city stood between Atlantis and world domination: Athens. But here at the hands of the Athenians, the armies of Atlantis suffered a crushing defeat for the first time.
Based on what the Sumerian tablets and the translations thereof tell us, there was only a small number of these Anunnaki that arrived on planet Earth.
I guess what I'm confused about is, were there two different races, or was it all the same species that came here?
This is still the big question. You know, where do the different race groups on planet Earth come from? And that question hasn't been answered. It's something that we need to deal with. It's a very important problem that we need to get on top of. How do the different race groups fit and, you know, suddenly come out of this picture? You know, and this whole story that, you know, white people are white because they live further away from the equator, and black people are black because they live more in the sun. And that's just rubbish, you know. It doesn't wash with me. You know?
It doesn't make very much sense.
Where do the different race groups on planet Earth come from? Where do the different race groups on planet Earth come from?
wonder if there's an advanced race, since we have these fossil evidence for groups with larger brains than us. There are a couple different types of big-brained fossil creatures that have been found in the very, very recent past, say the last 30,000 years. Okay, one is called Cro-Magnon. That was very human-like, actually had a significantly larger brain than modern humans. Unbelievable information. That's fall down on the floor, amazing information, okay? That trashes everything the evolutionary theory people have been wanting to talk about. What do we have here? We have something, some sort of huge head and presumably ultra-massive brain that was all over the world, and apparently some cultures like the Mayan worshiped them in the recent past. This is unbelievable. This is incredible information. Why is it not on all these news stations? I mean, what are the news talking about today? Britney Spears some more? Obama? I mean, this is unbelievable. Is this the Elohim? Or some extraterrestrials? Is it another just kind of human that was around? What relation do they have to us? Why were some ancient religions worshiping these people? Were other ancient religions worshiping these people? We have to get to the bottom of this. This information is the most powerful information. If you want to know who you are, that gives you power, and this is the kind of information that can help you do that.
While one half of the lab team battles to extract DNA from King Tut's samples, the others work on identifying the mystery mummy from Tomb 55. The DNA samples of both Amenhotep III and the mystery mummy are analyzed and amplified. The results are read through a process called DNA fingerprinting. This charts the Y chromosome as a series of 15 peaks. In a modern-day paternity suit, matching just 10 of these peaks will convince a court of law. As they compare Amenhotep III and the mystery mummy from Tomb 55, the peaks start to line up.
The first one is KB55 and the second one is Amenhotep III. Oh.
Incredibly, 10 peaks line up perfectly. They've got a match.
Congratulations. Great job.
They've just written a new page in the history books.